When I was younger, I used to have these recurring dreams. There were different sets of them. One of them, that was particularly strange, was I used to get mail and mow the lawn for an elderly couple that lived a couple houses down from me. So I had this dream that I would show up and have these guys in the house. I think they were trying to rob them or something. So I would run from the house looking for a gun. And I'd get to the garage and I'd open the side door and I'd realize there was somebody behind the door with a gun. And I would run out through the big garage door into this field and I'd just keep running and I'd always get away. So the third time I had this dream, somehow I was aware that I'd had this dream even though I was dreaming it. So I told the man who was chasing me with the gun, I says, "This is the third time we've done this. You never catch me. Why are we doing this again and again?" And he says, "Oh yeah." And I died in the dream. Weirdest thing. I open my eyes, not awake, still in the dream, and it's all cloudy, and I'm walking through this mist, and I end up at my own funeral, standing there in front of my own casket with me in it. And then I wake up. But I used to have this other dream that my dad, who obviously wasn't in the picture, but I would be on a road trip, and I would show up at this truck stop, and I'd go up to pump gas, and I'd be there at the pump, and I'd look over and look on the other side of the pump, and there was my dad standing there with one of my brothers, and he was getting gas too, and I'd be like, "Dad, Dad, hey, I'm going to go pay for my gas, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back." And so you can imagine, every time I come back, he'd be gone. And I kept having this dream again and again. And so I remember one time when my dad called me, and some of you have heard this, drunk as usual, and crying and saying, "I'm sorry I left you, I shouldn't have." And I said, "I'm glad you did." What? I said, "Well, I would have ended up like the rest of your kids had you lived with me. So I'm glad that you weren't there to be my influence." And that was the first moment that I realized that I was starting to let go of my demons, so to speak. Because we all have demons. No matter what form they come in, no matter what they look like, no matter what we call them, we all have our demons. And so this man, when Jesus shows up at the shores of the Gerasene people, and he finds this man supposedly out of his mind. But I almost wonder who was really out of his mind. Was it him or was it the town folk who were around him? Because this man had been chained in the tombs with the dead. There was something this man could not let go of. And I'm quite sure that he put those chains on himself. He chained himself up there with all of the things that could have been, but never were. Whether they were lost relationships, or relationships that never became what they could have, or lost dreams, or people who had left. Whatever it was, he couldn't let go of it. And so he finds himself in here out of his mind, running to his demons. Running to his demons, and not being able to let go, so much that he became imprisoned by them. Well, then you find Elijah. Elijah ran from his demons. He ran from the idea that he was all alone, even though he runs off to be alone. He runs off into the wilderness so that he can die. Because he supposedly, after Jezebel's prophets had killed off the prophets of Yahweh, Elijah, as the text says, supposedly goes out there by himself and kills off all the prophets of Baal. I'm trying to picture this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be picturing something like Deadpool out there cutting people up with a sword, or am I supposed to be picturing, something from Highlander? I have no idea. Somehow I went out and chopped up all the dudes. But then Jezebel says, "So help me God if you are not suffering like the rest of these by this time tomorrow." So he hightails it out of there. And he runs off to Mount Horeb. And he collapses. He's giving up, and these angels keep coming to him and saying, "Take and eat. You have to eat and be fed and be strong for your journey." And he finally gets to the mountain. And he goes up the mountain, and God had told him, "Go there to Mount Horeb, and I will meet you there." Well, he gets there, and he's waiting. "Where are you, God? Where are you? I'm here waiting for you." And then there was this strong wind. But God wasn't there. There was an earthquake. Nope. No God. There was a fire. No, still not there. And then, in the sound of sheer silence, was God. In the least expected place. And just as Elijah was thinking he was all alone, and that there was nothing left to do but to give up and die, the voice of God comes to him and says, Elijah, what are you doing here? He asked him twice. What are you doing here? What are you running from? What is it that you're hiding from? See, he thought that he had nowhere to turn. He thought that he had nobody to support him or to be on his side or to fight with him, to protect him. But he was also wrong. Not only was God with him the whole time, but where the lectionary cuts off the text, the next verse says there were 7,000 prophets who stood by Elijah and fought with him. I don't know where these 7,000 prophets came from. I thought they all got slaughtered, but okay. He wasn't expecting that. 7,000 people were there with him. So while he's running away from his demons, God says, go back, pull up your britches. I've still got work for you to do. But this man here, this Gerasene demoniac, he couldn't let go of his demons. He wanted to stay there because it was comfortable. But when he was healed, what does he want to do? He wants to stay with Jesus. And Jesus says, come on, man, you're doing it again. You keep attaching yourself to things and letting other people do things for you. You need to do this on your own. I've called you to something, and you have to do it. Nobody else can do it for you. So let go of me, just like you let go of those chains. And go back home and tell people what God has done for you. Realize you're not alone. God is with you. Always. No matter where you go. Even back home where maybe the real demons are. Who knows? But go there and do what you're supposed to do. And so the man finally leaves. But when the people from the town come and they hear what happened and they see the man sitting there and he's all sane and normal by whatever standard that they have described, they're excited, right? No. They're scared out of their minds. Why? This man is made well. Shouldn't they be rejoicing? Shouldn't they be happy? Shouldn't they have hope that this guy can be whole and well? No. They were scared to death because what were the implications? If he can be made well, if he can pull himself up by the bootstraps, and if he can go take care of things, he was worse off than I was. What does that mean for me? I guess that means I've got work to do too, and I don't want to think about it. I guess I've got some demons that I got to chase out. I got to sweep out of the closet with my broom. Always work to do. Always something that we want to run from, but it still sits there and stares us in the face. And Jesus reminded this man. God went to Elijah on that mountain and he said, knock, knock. Come out of that cave and get to work. When Jesus found that man in the tombs, he says, knock, knock. Get out of there. You are so much better than this. You are not the sum of your parents' choices. You are not what people have done to you. You are the culmination of your own choices. You are who I have called you to be. You are who you make yourself to be. That is who you are. Knock, knock. Get up. Get to work. Because I'm not going to let go of you.